Okay, we're doing our warm-up today in our Star Master book, page 46. We're looking at some multi-step word problems today, and we are kind of spiraling back to addition and subtraction. We've already covered this, so hopefully it wasn't too hard, but we are trying to get a little bit more challenging work in and speed up the pace a little bit, okay? So raise your hand if you thought this was a little bit hard. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, number 1. A group of students made a list of where they went most often during summer vacation. 14 students went to the museum most often, 10 students went to the swimming pool most often, and 12 students went to the park most often. How many more students went to the museum and the park most often than to the swimming pool? Okay, so it's a kind of wordy, meaning there's a lot of words in there that we really don't need to focus on. We just need to focus on museum, park, and swimming pool, right? Okay, so let's look at the museum. How many people went to the museum? 14. Good. So 14 students went to the museum. I'm just going to make a little list. So you don't have to keep trying to find the information in all of these words. That can be a little bit confusing. How many people went to the swimming pool? 10. 10 students went to the swimming pool. And then the last one was the park, which was 12. Okay? Now I'm going to go back to the question and read it again. It said, how many more? Oh, what does that mean? To subtract. So I know one part I'm going to have to subtract. How many more students went to the museum and the park? So what do we need to do with those two?
We have to subtract them.
No.
Add them.
Add. So first step, you needed to add museum and park. So here's museum. There's park. So I'm going to add those up first. Okay? So how many more students went to the museum and the park most often than to the swimming pool? Okay, so what do we do with swimming pool now?
We subtract.
Subtract. Good. That was my second step. We wrote the subtraction symbol here, so we need to make sure we do that. We're subtracting swimming pool, which was 10. 6 minus 0 is 6, and 2 minus 1 is 1. So 16 should have been your answer, B. Okay, multi-step word problems. So I used a couple different strategies here. I made a quick little list because that was easier for me to look at than having to go back up here and find the numbers every time. I labeled how many more meant to subtract, and when I saw and, I added, okay? Number 2, a class made a chart of the rainfall in the student's town for 3 years. What is the difference in rainfall between the month with the greatest amount and the month with the least amount? Okay, what does difference mean in math?
Difference means subtract.
Good. What does difference mean, class?
Subtract.
What does difference mean, Brandon? Subtract. So when you see the word difference in a math problem, it does not mean you describe what's different. It means you subtract. Okay? And we're looking at the difference between the month with the greatest rainfall and the month with the least. So which one had the greatest?
20 rain inches, 28.
28 was the greatest. And what was the least?
14.
14. And we subtract. 8 minus 4 is 4. 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay, so C was the correct answer on that one. Okay, make sure you're showing your work. labeling, circling important information. That one wasn't too hard, was it?
Nope.
Just had to make sure you use the right numbers. Greatest and least. Same thing for number 3. You had to make sure you used the 2 greatest months of snowfall. Because it says, what is the total? We all know how to find a total. What do?
You add.
You add.
55 and 55.
What is the total amount of snow for the 2 months with the greatest snowfall? So I go up here, and we needed to find the 2 with the greatest, which would have been what?
January and February.
Good. 55, 55. We add those up. What's 5 plus 5? 10. Make sure you carry the 1. 5 plus 5 is 10, plus the 1 we carried is 11.
C is the answer.
C is the answer. Very good.
Can I read it?
Sure, Kelsey. Go ahead, read.
The Yum Yum snack shop sells cookies, ice cream cones, fruit cups, and bags of nuts. Last week, the following entrants were sold: 132 cookies, 147 ice cream cones, and 121 fruit cups, and 155 bags of nuts. How many total cookies and fruit cups were sold?
Okay. So we don't need to know all of the things that were sold, just the cookies and fruit cups, right? Cookies and fruit cups. So I'm going to go up. I don't need ice cream cones. I don't need bags of nuts. I need 121 fruit cups and 132 cookies. We add those up. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 2, 5. And 1 plus 1. Okay, 253. We need to make sure we put it in the correct boxes, which there's only 3. So you put them in. 2, 5, 3. Bubble in. 2, 5, and 3. Okay, we get that one right?
Yes. No. I didn't get to it.
You didn't get to it? Okay. No questions?
Nope.
All right, put this away, and we're going to get this choosing multiplication and division packet back out and go over some word problems again. We're going to keep working on how you tell the difference between multiplication and division word problems.